Hey guys, Shyla Colt here with my discussion about Roar by Carmack. I was excited. First of all, look at the cover. It just looks like it's going to be an epic tale. Everything I heard about it made me really excited about it. Having read it, I am disappointed. It just didn't deliver. I thought it was going to be this action-packed, epic fantasy, and it was not. I really felt like it was this long journey to the start of a story, and then just as the story is about to start, it ends. I was not happy with that. I really did like the progression of Aurora, who, spoiler alert, this is a discussion, not a review, because I just got to be able to talk about it. I just can't. I can't not spoil it. So if you haven't read this yet, this would be the time to sort of fade out and then come back after you've read it and we can talk about it. So you have Aurora, who is a princess who is supposed to have the power to control storms like her mother before her. This is a matriarchal society. Unfortunately, she has no powers, and they've spent her life hiding it. Because they have hidden such a big secret, she has been completely isolated. She could have no friends. She could have no real interest other than the ones she can do by herself. So she has spent her whole life acting a role and being completely repressed. And now, because her brother before her has died and she is the last that will continue the line and she needs to marry strongly, she is basically being forced to marry someone else who would take over for her and be able to protect her kingdom from the storms that rage. Now, these are not your typical storms. These storms have a heart, they have magic, they have purpose. It's a very interesting concept. I think that was my favorite part about this book, and that's what really saved the book from just being a complete wash for me. Because Aurora is meeting this prince, and she kind of buys his BS at first, and then discovers that he's basically using her because, of course, he just wants to be on the throne and he wants to rule. So then she finally gets the spine and decides that she is going to run off. And you're thinking, I don't know how to feel about this. You're leaving your people to the mercy of, one, the storms, and two, this guy, which you know you can't trust. I was torn, but I just said, okay, let's go with it. The girl's finding her independence. We're totally going to support that. So she goes on the road with this ragtag group of storm hunters because she's learning that her mother has basically lied to her to keep her complacent her entire life. There are people who are not born as stormlings, who are the ones who have the powers to control the storms, who can acquire magic through training and other means to take on these storms. She's traveling with them, she's getting stronger, she's finding herself, and this focus is basically on the romance between her and her trainer Locke, who comes from a far off land, Lachlan. So much focus is on that and their time away. And I wasn't expecting that. I think if I had gone into this knowing that it was going to be basically a romance and that was the central plot, with all this awesomeness of world building around it being second, I might have embraced it more. But instead, I just felt like I was waiting. I was waiting to get to that awesomeness. I was waiting to get to the next part. And we had to go through a lot of different pathways to get to it. So I'm torn because the world was amazing. The concept of storms was amazing. Seeing that she did have latent power was incredible. I was really cheering her on for that. But as soon as she discovered her power and was ready to pit herself against the enemy, literally the book ended. So I was kind of like, WTF, I don't know how I feel about this. That being said, if you were really into romances and you're looking for a romance in an incredible world with a lot of exciting things going on, this might be the perfect read for you. If you read Roar, I'd like to know what your thoughts were. Did you feel the way I felt, or was this a completely satisfying read for you? Did you feel like it ended right where maybe it should have started? Like the ending should have been the middle of the book? Because that was one of the things that I personally felt. I don't know, it ended up being like a 4-star just because I love the world so much. I did appreciate the characters. They were from all kinds of different places. They had all kinds of different skills. And I really did like to see her grow into herself and become the person that she always longed to be. I really enjoyed that coming of age story. But overall, it fell a little bit flat for me. If you like what I'm doing, make sure you click the bell so you'll be alerted when I update. That's Shyla Colt, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.